Well, Dave, 19-year-old Michael Davis was found guilty tonight on all counts, more than 20 in all. It does make him Youngstown's worst mass murderer ever. Now, the charges did include murder, attempted murder, as well as aggravated arson. Again, more than 20 charges in all. The jury did deliberate until about 8:30 tonight. The defense attorneys only called one witness. That was today, in which the defense attorney said, and that expert both said that residue could have come from a different source. Now, the prosecution actually called forth 23 witnesses, including many of the family members, the survivors of that fire, who did manage to get out, but who were there that night. Also, the jurors listened to some very haunting and chilling 911 tapes in which Ratia Crawford, one of the survivors, she was begging for someone to come and help her get her family out of that burning house. Those types of 911 calls are very difficult for a jury to hear, perhaps certainly a factor in that guilty verdict tonight. Very difficult for a jury to hear that. The family, however, we did talk with Ratia Crawford. Again, she was the one who made that 911 call. We talked with her this evening. She is very pleased with tonight's guilty verdict. Now, our own Roxanne Seabest was covering this trial since day one. She actually was in the courtroom today. Let's listen to her as she talks about the testimony today. Now, of the 6 who died, as we said, 4 were young children, all under the age of 13. Renisha, Janine, Alicia, and Brandon Crawford, as well as Carol, who was the grandmother, and Jennifer. Those were her 4 children. All 6 of those people did die. Now, the next phase of this trial is actually going to be the sentencing phase. That starts October 23rd, where these same jurors will be back in the courtroom to hear evidence about whether or not Michael Davis should be put to death for his role in this crime. It is a capital case, so he could very well face the death penalty. If not, he could be sentenced to life in prison. Again, on October 23rd, that's 9 days from now, next Thursday, the jury will be back to start deliberating about whether or not he should face the death penalty. Until then, Dave, let's send it back to you.
And we've heard from the family. I'm assuming that's why we're not hearing from the lawyers yet, because of that penalty phase, right?
That's exactly right. They're not allowed to talk about anything except the technicalities of the case. I'm sure we will certainly hear a lot more from them after the sentencing phase of the trial does get underway. As for now, though, the family very outspoken about what happened tonight, very pleased with this guilty verdict. Dave?